The first part will be a case study review of Shanghai Tower. It is the second tallest building in the world, and it is one of the most prestigious towers. The tower is 632 meters and has 127 floors. And it is considered the second tallest building in the world so far. It started in 2008 in the city of Shanghai. It is a big project that is like a complete city within. It has retail, it has hotel, it has offices at the same time. It has 9 vertical zones. Each one is between 12 and 15 stories. There is a retail part and conference, and then we have 2 to 6 are office spaces, and zone 7 is a hotel with outlets and in zone 8 and observation level in zone 9. It is the second in the world so far after Burj Khalifa, and it is one of the most prestigious in the world. The idea of tower is reflecting the wind and how it goes into a spiral form in the sky. The tower reflects this idea, as we will see in the sketches, and it has sky gardens that reflects its concern of sustainability, and it has a lot of public spaces and shops and restaurants, and it's an attraction to the whole community. As you see, the idea starts with a simple square shape plan, and the spiral metaphor started to affect the form itself and see it as if it's a conical wind turbine into the sky. And the curvature of the spiral shape. So every idea starts from a small, or simple form, and then it gets developed into that as we go into the form that it takes. The design of the core is very complex due to the nature of the different types of functions that it hosts. So that's this typhoon or force winds are common in the region. So the architect designed an asymmetric form with tapered profile and rounded corners to reduce the wind loads by 24%. So it saved a lot of materials and cost. So the traditional CAD tools did not satisfy what they wanted to design. So they used a parametric software to achieve the form that they want. It evolves, the curvature form revolves around a trunk or the core and steel super columns, as we will see in the plan. طبعا the express elevators designed by Mitsubishi are the fastest in the world. They exceed 18. Yes.
إيش السوبر columns? How are they different than just regular columns? Are they different function columns?
They are super big. You will see them in the plan now. We will show you in the plan how big they are and how complicated they are. They are not just.
Okay. يعني عندهم super columns and columns في نفس البروجكت ولا is it just super columns?
It's the size and the complexity of the column. That's why they call it super columns. You will see them in the plan now and you will understand the point. The tower skin has 20,000 curtain wall panels suspended from above on cantilever trusses. طبعا because of this twisting form, each panel has a different size and design, as we will see. طبعا the form went through several evolution, and they selected the one in the middle as the form that they go for. So, as we say, design evolves. It doesn't happen at once. So each design it starts from an idea and then evolves. They have several sustainability measures that they employed from the beginning. It has fair and second skin that provides insulation, reducing the need for heating and cooling, while the use of glass limits the need of electric lighting. So they benefited from both, reducing electricity for lighting and insulating the building by the second skin that they provide. They have 270 wind turbines built into the facade at the crown of the building. It's not a big wind turbine that as one that we see in Bahrain Financial District. These are small wind turbines that are part of the facade design. And they lighten the exterior of the building. As you see here, the structure is revolving around a core, and there is a vanity height on the top, as we have seen. The important part is the skin design. You see the sizes and shapes of the glass panels is different in each part and each floor. طبعا that requires يعني a lot of design and manufacturing and testing and so forth. This is a part of the detail as shown here of the skin design and the glass of the facades. This is the layout. As we see, it has three parts. This part is office lobby, and this part is hotel, and this part is real lobby. It has an entrance, and as each entrance has its designs. The arrows show you the circulation around the site and the entrances and the entrances and exits to the garage and out. The garage here is not very tall, it's not very big, but it has 2 entrances and exits, as we see. Also, there are number of drop-offs for each part of the building. The hotel lobby has its own drop-off. The retail has its own drop-off. The offices, they have their own drop-off. The ground floor plan shows the sites. As you see here, it's just a black and white outline, lines. We don't have too much presentation so that the plan can be read easily. The quality of graphics is very professional, as you see, and it's very simple, very straightforward. These big parts, these are the super columns that we are talking about. We have 2, 4, 6, 8 at north, east, south, west directions, and we have 4 45 degrees columns that carry the load of is very clear. You see the columns, the tower, the thick walls of the that are carrying the building, and we see also the small columns that carry levels of the building. So the retail here has several columns, only work this part. And the core, the super column, carry the rest of the this ascent and elevation section, the floors, it shows the supers and cutting through the elevator shafts until we reach the vanity height on the top. So it is the elevation shows the levels, the slick of the detailed that was the talk about the elevator for office, and it's overlooking court. This is how the quarters, the different floors of the tower. As you see this curve, this is on the floor to the entrance.
Dr. Yasser, I think we're losing you. يعني صوتك بيروح ويجي.
Okay. Slower. So the returns and it is off the drop feeds.
Dr. Yasser لسه صوتك مرة يقطع.
I'll need to improve that. Just a minute. Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, better.
Okay. So this is the entrance to the retail, and this is the retail part of the building and the tower. So part of the tower, as you see here, is reaching the ground with a pavement in the ground level, and another part is intersecting with the retail part. This is the shape of the tower in the skyline of Shanghai from different perspectives. And the image to the right shows how the form is rotating from bottom to up. This is an interior of the shopping lobby. And this is another interior of the tower. These are the wind turbines that we were talking about. They are not placed all over the tower. They are placed on the top part where they can generate electricity. And each one is it's not a huge wind turbine like the one in Bahrain, but these are small wind turbines that can generate power for the exterior lighting at night. This is a view from inside, and this is a section that shows the different arrangements of the core design as it goes up to the upper levels. So we start with a large number of elevators, and then some of them they stop and others continue to the last floors on the top. So the core itself can change in shape according to the needs of the tower. It doesn't have to go all the way to the top. Only the parts that are needed can continue to the upper floors. This is one zone of the tower. It shows the transfer from one group of elevators to another group of elevators in the same floor. And the core design, and there are different elevators for different functions. They don't all have to be in the same level. Some work for different levels. This is another level. This level is served by this group of elevators, and then they transfer to other elevators and cores. And this is also another plan for another zone. Also the design considers the requirement for HVAC. So each part of the tower is served by a service floor. As you see the service floor here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and each one serves a certain number of floors. This is a detail of the skin facade. The design of the skin is extremely important in towers because it does not only generate the form or create the form, it also serves as functional purposes, providing lighting, protecting from the heat, providing, as you see here, sky courtyards where several floors can overlook them. طبعا we see here the start of a design development stage, and this is what we are going to do inshallah in the next phase. we'll start to focus on the skin design and the design development stage. So we see the center lines with dimensions. We don't need to go into too many detailed dimensions, but we need to provide basic dimensions for the plan. In this slide, we see the core and we see the super columns that we are talking about. These are huge columns that carry the tower along with the core, the structural core that we have. So this is what Ghalia was asking about. These are what is called the super columns. And they get closer to the core in the upper plans, and some of them they stop. So the diagonal ones they stop, and the vertical, horizontal ones they continue all the way to the top. Here is a detailed plan. So we see here the fire escape staircases, very clear. We see the super columns. We see the number of elevators that go all the way up and serve the. These are clearly hotel rooms. So we see the rooms, the bathrooms, and the corridor around the core that serves the hotel rooms. This is an important part of the plan generation. We have to have a simple geometric form that shows the different angles, the different radiuses, the different lines that show the basic lines that the form is following. So this geometric illustration, you also need to start with in your design development. This is a structural plan that shows the complexity of the super columns that we are talking about. The columns are composites of I-beams and C-sections to carry the required load. And these are the beams that are connecting the columns and the floor to the core. And then there are secondary beams that generate the small scale slabs that will carry the loads. So we have the columns, we have beams, and we have secondary beams that connect them. It's a very complex structural design, but basically it is the core, the columns, and beams that are connecting the columns to the core. This is a 3D of the structural design, shows the core and the super columns and the beams connecting the columns to the core. This is another detail of the structural system and how it is working. It's very simple, straightforward solution. And no need to complicate the structure than needed. This is a detail of the last floors of the tower and the vanity height. Part of the tower will be unusable. As you see, this is the part that creates the end of the form, and it hosts the mechanical rooms and technical systems covered by this vanity height. So the tower does not end with a flat roof or parapet as we have in normal buildings. It ends with a special structure that creates the identity of the tower on top and covers the technical systems that we have. This is a detail of the sizes and types of the glass panels that are used. It's very complex design and requires specialists in glass design that provide each dimension for every part. They try to reduce the number of the panels used in the curtain wall so that manufacturing is easier. If you have large number, it will be more difficult than having small number. This is a detail of a wall section. It shows the different connections and of the skin to the floors, and the floor design and how the structure is tied together. This is another detail of the hanging courtyards that are viewed by the different floors above. So this is about 10 floors high, and it is viewed from the top. This part requires detailed design of the irrigation system and how the water is coming and the drainage of the water and so forth. It's a complex part of the design. This is a detail of the wall section and the curtain wall that covers it. That's all for this part or this example.